Your rights and responsibilities.
A representative democracy like ours here in Australia relies on the participation of citizens. It is our representatives who make decisions on our behalf in the Australian Parliament, and we choose our representatives by voting. In Australia, participation in the electoral system is compulsory.
All Australian citizens who are 18 years of age or over are required by law to enrol and vote, and can be fined if they don't. Federal elections are organised by the Australian Electoral Commission, the AEC, which is responsible for maintaining the Commonwealth electoral roll and for conducting electoral events like federal elections, by-elections, and referendums.
The AEC also delivers targeted education and public awareness activities, like this video, so voters get the information they need to participate in these events. To ensure free and fair elections, electoral management bodies like the AEC must be independent of the government and free from political connections. The AEC is made up of apolitical staff who conduct elections without interference from government, political parties, businesses, or other groups. There are 3 important steps that every voter must take. You must enrol, turn up to vote, and vote correctly.
All Australian citizens aged 18 years or over must enrol to vote. Enrolling is easy and can be done online via the AEC website www.aec.gov.au.
You can actually enrol from when you were 16. That way, when you turn 18, you'll already be on the electoral roll and able to vote. If you move house, once you have lived at your new place for at least 1 month, you must update the address on your enrolment. Once an election is called, there is a specific date when the electoral roll closes. After this date, you won't be able to update your enrolment details for that election. This is why it's important to keep your enrolment details up to date. After the electoral roll closes, people nominate to stand as candidates. Once candidates are confirmed and ballot papers are printed and checked, the voting period begins.
Most people vote on election day, which is always on a Saturday. Remember that voting is compulsory, so if you can't vote on election day, it's important to organise another way to vote, such as by postal vote or voting early in person at an early voting centre.
The AEC also travels to aged care homes, hospitals, regional and remote locations to ensure everyone gets to vote. There are also voting options for people who are blind or have low vision. People can even vote in select Australian embassies and consulates overseas, and at interstate voting centres, so that people travelling or living overseas or interstate can still vote. It's important that once you've enrolled, you always remember to turn up to vote. When you go to vote, make sure you fill in your ballot paper correctly so that you don't waste your vote.
A ballot paper that is filled out correctly and can be counted in an election is called a formal vote. And a ballot paper that isn't correctly completed is an informal vote and can't be included in the count. Always follow the instructions on your ballot paper. If you're voting in person, you can ask an election official to help.
Before Election Day, the AEC delivers community-wide information and advertising campaigns on TV, radio, newspapers, online, and on social media to remind people how to enrol or update their details, where they can vote, and how to cast a formal vote. Electoral communication is an important part of the election process. Don't forget, it is your responsibility as a voter to be informed about the candidates and their policies. The AEC does not regulate the political content of electoral communications.
A federal election is a contest of ideas, and it is the role of each voter to take the time to consider if the information they consume is from a reliable source and if it is current and true.
Make sure you exercise your right and responsibility to enrol and vote in elections, and be part of our representative democracy.